Welcome back, everybody. Well, as you may remember from the end of our last video, we drilled a bunch of holes in this bucket and built ourselves a little mini heap leach system. So, drilling the holes, I used a 3/32 drill bit, drilled a bunch of holes, and that actually seemed to work okay as far as keeping the fine bits of dirt out of the bottom bucket, which would be our receiving bucket. This is the bucket that the ore will be placed in. So here's our bottom bucket. Got a little $8 pump I got on eBay, and it runs on 12 volts at 0.17 amps, so 170 milliamps. It actually does pretty good. It's got a sensor on it so it doesn't run dry. Now in the upper bucket, our leaching bucket, I put some pea gravel in the bottom, and that really helped out as far as keeping the holes clear. I think I used 4 scoops. Then I put this paint strainer on here, or paint screen, and put the ore on top of it, thinking that the paint strainer would keep some of the fine stuff out of the pea gravel so it doesn't get plugged up. Turns out that it only made the fluid go around the dirt or the ore and then down the sides of the bucket. So we put the strainer in the bottom bucket. Turned out I didn't even need the strainer. When I pulled the strainer out, it was clear and there was hardly any silt in the bottom of the receiving bucket on the bottom. So we're just testing with water anyhow right now. So we're going to mix up some Eco Goldex super agent, and to do so we need the quantity of water we require, in which case we need about 2 liters, and we need to bring the pH up, making it base or alkali, and to do so we're going to use lye. This is, just hardware store-bought stuff. It's kind of hard to find. A lot of places don't carry hardware or don't carry lye. It's a little bit caustic and they freak out about it. But for our Eco Goldex, we need to bring the pH up to about 10.5 to 11. So let's see what we've got. Got my electronic pH meter. So this is reading at about 8.1. A little bit base for water, but water's supposed to be 7. But up here in the mountains, this is mountain water. It's not distilled water. So God knows what else is in it. Maybe some frog feed or fish fart or something like that, bringing up the pH a little bit. So we'll spoon in some lye. I don't know how much I'm going to need. So we'll dose it in, mix it up, and see what it does for us. I got this real cool mixer. Got to be careful with these. They spin pretty quick. They will froth up whatever you're mixing, or perhaps spin it out of the beaker. So you want to make sure you get it into the solution before you turn it on, and turn it off before you take it out, or you'll splash all over the place. Okay, let's see what that's done for our pH. Push the on button, it might help. Dip it in the water, give it a little flip around, and make sure you don't have any bubbles sticking on there. And it says it's 11.2. So that brought it up a little bit high, but we haven't mixed in the agent yet. So we don't know what that's going to do. If it brings it up too high, then I'll just add more water. Bring the pH back down. So it didn't take much lye at all. Now for our find my scale here. Here it is. Super agent requires about 5 grams per liter, or excuse me, 50 grams per liter of powder to water. So we'll get something here and weigh it out. Find a dry, semi-clean beaker. And we'll tear that so it's back to 0. And we need about 100 grams. So that big 1 scoop is, oh, I have it set to pounds. No wonder it didn't make sense. You switch this over to grams. Okay, so that's 25 grams. That should be 50. And 52. That should be 75. 79. So we got to go light on this one. A little too light. There's 100 grams on the button. You know you're a professional when you can weigh out 100 grams exactly. Okay, now, so being totally clueless, we forged on and mixed it up. Got this kind of battleship primer gray color stuff with chunks in it. Yeah, that's how I felt. But definitely not what I was expecting. But we pushed ahead hoping that things would come out good. And they didn't. This is our leach solution after about 3 days of leaching. It was black. Kind of a reddish, dark, well, black. So I tried 4 different ways from Sunday to precipitate, acidify, did all kinds of stuff. Stannous chloride, tin, aluminum, zinc. Nothing helped. Nothing worked. So we decided to go back and do the math and mix up the right stuff. This time we used 0.5 grams of agent per liter. Okay, well, after letting it settle, we got a pretty clear solution with some mud at the bottom. We're going to filter this now and put it in our leach system and start it working. So hopefully in a few more days we'll have some solution that looks good and has gold in it. I'm using new ore, so we won't have any tainted stuff from last batch. So hope for the best. See ya!